So Madziwa community started working with Foundations for Farming in the Operation Trumpet Corps program way back in 2008. Then Pastor Marvin was the first person in that community to come under Foundations for Farming and leading his community in implementing Foundations for Farming principles.
The Foundations for Farming has helped us very much. That at first, we were having, problems. We didn't have enough food to feed our families. But as we adopted this Foundation for Farming, the principles, we have seen ourselves now getting something also to feed our family, even surplus to help the community.
The principles of Foundation for Farming is to do things on time, at a high standard and without wastage and joy. If you do these three principles on time, at a high standard, without wastage, you will get joy at the end. Right now, I'm happy because I've got a good yield.
My prayer for the community now is if everyone is to come on board and just adopt this method, we know that we are going to eradicate even poverty.
We've just had a training quite recently where I think this year more people will practice the Foundations for Farming principles.
Wonderful. So Pastor Marvin Kandulu and Paul and Joe Kadzamira were a huge testimony in their community, and they brought 30 people from their community to our Zangri community training at Foundations for Farming. Sadly, in 2019, Pastor Marvin passed away, but his legacy lives on. And we've seen Pastor Obed Makwara taking over the leadership and guiding the Awazangri community in their community to carry out these trainings, which is a huge blessing for the community. This was after our trainer has worked with the community for a year doing the monitoring and visit just to encourage the group.
Then when I came back to my society, I also started to teach other people. We started looking at the Alpha courses. We started teaching Alpha courses in our society. So far we have about 3 cell groups where we are teaching every Tuesdays. And at the same time we've managed also to recruit one of our church members who is in charge of teaching Alpha courses in our different areas.
So Paul and Joe used to cover a lot of distance on foot to visit the farmers. They were blessed with 2 bicycles that were donated to them by Tony from Cedar, Hong Kong. And they were so grateful, and it's a huge burden that has been lifted off their shoulders as they try to visit the farmers. 507 farmers were trained last year in partnership with Cedar, Hong Kong. We did 15 village trainings into 15 villages. When they did these trainings, they identified widows in those villages. That's where the training was held. But also at the same time, they managed to leave a Fumfudza plot, which was a demonstration plot for the community at this widow's house. Our principles were applied faithfully. The widow with the least yield harvested 6 times the national average, and the highest had a yield of 28 times the national average.
My name is Matilda Kaise. I planted maize and harvested 19 by 50 kg bags. From my harvest, I gave some to my children to eat because I had plenty. Please keep on teaching people. If you teach everyone, it will help to fight poverty and hunger.
So the Madziwa community is a huge testimony of a community working together. We've seen it in the 15 trainings that we did last year, where some were coming to offer help in cooking and training. So it was a huge blessing to have people with the right heart for their community, and we're just there just to help them and support them to reach out into their community. Now the Fumvudza concept that they've been implementing over the years in this community, the government has adopted it to be a national policy. And this community has been so influential that even the agri-tax officers, as they carry out these trainings into these communities, these farmers who have been applying it for years have been teaching it to the agri-tax officers, since they have deeper knowledge than those who are supposed to be training them. This community has been a testimony to the nation, and we thank God for their faithfulness over these years in applying these principles to life. But also want to thank them for their unselfishness, where they've spread this message freely to their community and now we're starting to see the fruits of their labor. We would love to thank all those who helped us in achieving these fruits into this community. Thank you for partnering with us in transforming the lives of a whole community.
Ibage!